The lowest point of my life was during the recession period, the first recession that I ever experienced as an adult, between 2008 and 2010, where I was in real estate and property management at that time. And the world took a hit, especially the industry of real estate and property management. I had no money skills. I made a lot of money. I was making like $250,000 total based on salary and commissions at that time. But I was also spending that money as soon as it was coming in. I was the shopaholic. I had to have all the nice things. And so when that recession hit and I was laid off of that job, I didn't have more than 6 months worth of money to survive on. And, that recession took a hit for over a almost 3-year period of time. And so I went from making like $250,000 that particular year in commissions, or the year right before it, thinking I had made it, to having to humble myself and going back to work for $11 an hour. $11 an hour. And at this time, I had a really big house, almost 4,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms on a basement, just me and my daughter. I had the nice cars. And we lost everything. I mean, we lost everything. And we're talking about low moments. Like, I'm not talking about just monetary loss. It was more like literally having to go to the gym to take a shower because the utilities are off in the home. Literally having to at the same time go to the gym and fill up gallons of water. And I'm in there pretending like, when people that are in the gym that I'm familiar with see me in here pretending that I'm on this water challenge, and I just drink all this water, when really I was filling up water gallons to go home and pour in the back of my toilet tank to be able to flush my toilet. I am talking about having to line my toilet with a plastic bag and sit my daughter on the toilet, telling her to take a poop in the plastic bag. You pee in the toilet, you poop in the plastic bag, because we got to go like 5 P's in between a flush. Like, I'm talking about playing hide and seek in the dark with your daughter because you don't want her to go to school and tell people that you don't have lights at home, so we make it a game, right? Those were some of the lowest points of my life.
Little toughness. You got challenges that you're going to run across.
Welcome to another episode of Elite Psyche. All right, so welcome to another episode of Elite Psyche. The really big show. We changed from a pod. We the really big show now. And on Elite Psyche, we talk to people who've had success in life. And we know that anybody that has success has gone through some challenges to where they have to be mentally tough. And they have to get a strong psyche to keep going. And we know that a lot of people, give in. And so the ones who have had success, we know that they've gone through those things and learned how to have that elite psyche and be mentally tough. And today I have a special guest, and also I'm gonna have her as a big show host too. So she doesn't know some of the other stuff we're gonna do, but I'm just today I want to bring up Miss Donnie Wiggins. It's kind of like, how you just say the president, everybody knows. I don't have to, I just gotta say I say Donnie Wiggins. I can say the superstar, the big homie. I mean, she is the one and only. So Donnie, welcome, and glad to have you.
Thank you, Tony. I am super happy to be here. Very excited that you asked me to join you here on Elite Psyche, for sure.
Man, okay. So, well, let's just jump right into it, man. What you been up to lately? I know you're always on the move every time I talk to you in the car. Yeah.
I am always working, but not always. I am always working, but lately this year I have been taking, and not even this year, the last year I've been taking a lot of time to focus on like my own self-care. I've been in the gym super hard lately. I am on a 42-day 42-day straight workout challenge. So we've got that going on. We got a lot of good things happening by the grace of God, for sure.
So who's your trainer? Give him a shout.
Her name is Miss Bria Loren. Miss Bria Loren out in Atlanta, Georgia. And she kicks my butt several days a week in the gym. So we do 3 or 4 days together, and then I do the other 3 or 4 days independently.
What's her Instagram?
Miss Bria Loren, MissBrialOren.
All right. So y'all heard that. That's the superstar, the big homie trainer.
You don't
So
want to work out with her unless you're serious.
Right. So y'all do free weights?
Yeah.
Okay.
We do everything. Free weights, cardio, machine weights. We do everything.
For an hour or what?
Or more, however long it takes to get it done, because the only place that I try to be a quitter on purpose is the gym. I am okay with being a quitter in the gym. Now, she doesn't let me quit, but I say that to say that sometimes our workouts can be 45 minutes if I get through it. But I have many days where right now I am on day 13 of the 42 days straight, and everything hurts. So I have many days where I go in there and I'm like, Brie, we're not doing this today. And she's like, you're not a quitter. And I'm like, for sure I am. And I'm okay with that. So there's a whole lot of like mental psyche that she has to do to get my head in the game for the workout.
So what gym?
We go to different gyms.
Okay.
I have a gym in my building, in my condo building where I live. I have a membership at Lifetime. We can do all kinds of stuff.
So she's just doing you, not a group. She's just doing you.
So yes, but I have invited a few of my friends along this journey with me. So we will work out by ourselves, but I do have a couple of friends, 3 friends that can work out with me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump right into this, man. If y'all don't know, which I don't know who wouldn't know this, but Ms. Wiggins and Mr. David Shan has a podcast called Social Proof. Mm-hmm. And they're doing big numbers. They're doing well. And let's kind of talk about that. When did y'all start with that podcast? And how did you get involved with it? Because, you know, you were doing a lot of other things.
Yeah, I was. Some things with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Social Proof. So Social Proof started as an event. And it was an event that featured a lot of entrepreneurs telling their stories, sharing their journey, teaching like some entrepreneurial tips, much like what the podcast is. And David had this great idea in 2019 to, instead of just putting a bunch of speakers on a flyer and saying, hey, this person's going to be there, this person's going to be there, he did these very small, like 10 to 15 minute video interviews or video clips where they were able to talk about the things that they were going to be teaching, and you could look forward, you know, they were telling you what you could look forward to at the Social Proof conference, right? Mm-hmm. And so that event went very well in 2019. David started to prepare for the Social Proof conference in 2020, but the pandemic happened and the events could no longer take place, but he'd already had these mini promo interviews from these guests that were going to be featured at that conference. So he decided to keep running with that same theme. Just, hey, we can't do an event. I'm going to put these videos out anyway, because I believe at that time they increased to like 30-minute conversations. He started to put those out anyway, and they began to pick up some traction. So after he got through the people that were going to be guests for the Social Proof conference, he just kept inviting entrepreneurs out. I mean, because we're at home and we're bored, we don't have anything to do. Episode 49, I finally go out to, I was the host of the Social Proof conference. Episode 49, I finally go out to do an interview, sit down with him and do an interview. This is now 2020. And David asked me to be his co-host. Now, to back up a little bit, he and I have been working together since 2015. We've been business partners specifically since 2015. We used to host these entrepreneur conferences or workshops. They were more like workshops. We do events together, and we just always supported each other in business. And so in 2020, he's like, just come do this. And I'm like, no, I didn't understand. I didn't have time. It's the pandemic. People are panicking. How am I making money? I have to run my business. I have to be very strategic with how I am spending every hour of my time. And I didn't believe that I could commit to showing up and doing these podcast interviews. And back then, we were like recording every day. It was like all over the place. It was like, can you come in? Can you come in? Can we record? Can we record? And so, and I didn't see the monetization in it. I'm like, I don't have time. I'm like, David, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I don't have time to be sitting around here having conversations with people and not getting money.
Right.
And so he's like, just give it a shot. Let's just give it like 90 days. And if you don't like it, you know, we can just pretend like it never happened. You can quit. And
Wait a minute.
so
Wait a minute. So when you said that about, you know, man, I don't have time to really do this because I ain't getting any money, you know. So did he paint a vision then to say, well, money's coming? No, he didn't. He just
know. The podcast wasn't making money at that time, and we didn't know anything about podcasting at that time to know how it would make money. What David and I have always done is put the idea out and figure it out later, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was the same exact thing here. He just believed in it so much. And there was a part of me that I'm a softie, and you know, David always goes for my crazy ideas. So there was a part of me that felt like, okay, I'll do it. This is my friend, you know, I'll sit and I'll do this, but I can only do it if we streamline like the operations a little bit. I can't be here every day shooting podcasts. So we figured out a schedule and we started. I came on.
Where were y'all shooting them at the time? Where?
There's a building called the E-Complex. It's a studio that we used to do our events out of. David had that building. It's a leased building. Called it the E-Complex. It was
where is that?
It's in Chambly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a building where entrepreneurs could come and do events. But it was his building under his lease. Yeah. Okay. And so that's where we started shooting at that time. And we moved all over that building trying to figure out where our set would be. Like our set was literally all over that building. And so it was
so didn't the guy Chad have a building like that over off Holland and Smyrna? You know Chad, the I can't think his last name, networker. He had a building where people would come and do events. It was he and another guy. But I'm assuming it probably was just like that if you don't know, you know.
I don't know who he is, but there are buildings like that all over.
Chad Thompson. I don't.
Oh, Chad. Chad Thompson. I don't know what his building structure was. Mm-hmm. I don't know what his building structure was, but Chad has all kinds of stuff.
Okay. All right. So go ahead, continue.
So then I came on episode 49 of the Social Proof podcast. I came on, and in the beginning, it did not go so well. People have been used to seeing David for 48 episodes, just being him, having these conversations with these guests. And because at that time, I was still transitioning out of the network marketing world.
I believe at that time that was you and I was working together.
Well, no, I had you and I stopped working together in 2018. Okay. And in 2018, I had enough money in the bank to chill for a minute and, you know, make some decisions and kind of decide what I wanted to do, because I knew that I no longer wanted to do the whole network marketing industry. I got tired of having to rebuild at some points in time for reasons that were outside of my control. And that was a very, very difficult industry to navigate at times. And when I say difficult, I meant more mental strain than the actual making money part. Making money in network marketing was easy, and the industry absolutely changed my life. So it was a heart-wrenching time for me at 2018 to say, I think I'm done.
I can say this, and then you give me your input on that, your thoughts at least. I remember, I've been doing this a long time, at least the networking in the 90s. I started in 96. What were you doing in 1996? Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.